Evolving Skies is the undisputed king of Sword and Shield. The most expensive card, the Moonbryon, consistently sells for upwards of $450. Booster Box is no exception, having risen itself to almost $400. But what if Booster Box history would tell us that's actually a great buy? What's going on, folks? PokeDegen here. Today we're going to be looking at past history to see if Evolving Skies at $400 a Booster Box is actually a very fair value. If you guys appreciate the content and are feeling generous today, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Now folks, since we know that 100% without a doubt, Evolving Skies is the best set in Sword and Shield, it's only fair and necessary to compare it to the top two sets of the last two eras. Flashfire released in 2014 and Team Up released in 2019. If we look at this Flashfire set, of course at a ridiculous amount, $3,000, an insane amount of money for a Pokemon booster box. Look at the top 5 cards. I really just want to take something to note. It's not extraordinary. Some very amazing Charizard cards that go for hundreds of dollars. When we're talking $3,000 for a sealed booster box, I think the fact that we can see, even if you were to pull the top Charizard card right here, the Mega Charizard, got it in a 10 at release and held it for 9 years, the booster box still would have outperformed you around 13 to 1400%. Because of that fact, I'm strictly talking booster boxes in this video, because even the most perfect play in Flashfire would have got outperformed by the sealed booster box appreciation. And considering Evolving Skies cards and Team Up have already had massive appreciation, so it doesn't make sense to pick those up at such inflated prices because the risk is so high. Which I think is just a testament to how broken booster box appreciation is right now. This booster box has averaged 47 to 48% a year, which on an annualized basis outperforms the S&P 500 by around 4.7x. Some staggering stats right there. This booster box is still very liquid till this day. The market price is around $3,500, but if you list around $29,000 to $3,000, would be a pretty quick sale. So good liquidity there. I mean, think about how amazing that is. Only holding 9 years, okay guys? You're 18 to 40, 18 to 50. 9 years is honestly nothing. A lot of long-term investors, when they put their money into an asset, they intend to hold for 20 years at a minimum. A lot of them never like to sell. 9 years to get a 30x. Really amazing data from the top Pokemon set of X and Y. Now we go to the king of the Sword and Shield era, Evolving Skies. Just an absolutely loaded set, folks. This booster box has had a crazy rise from $100 on release just under 2 years ago to now going for $400. But folks, the crazy thing is, Team Up is only 4 years old and it's going for $1,500 to $1,700 a booster box. If we annualize that, that comes out to around 100% a year, which is just absolutely insane, okay? That's bonkers. But if we annualize Evolving Skies at what it's doing right now, it comes out to around 100% in a year. All these videos of Evolving Skies going crazy, people are like, oh my god, the world is falling apart. But if we really sit back for a second and we compare the annualized returns compared to Team Up or Flashfire, it's right within that range, okay? Team Up went from $100 to $1,700 in 4 years. I really haven't seen any videos specifically regarding Team Up booster boxes that have gone crazy or something like that, okay? I mean, the cards videos, yes, for that. But when we talk about the booster box appreciation for the Team Up, it's kind of just disregarded, okay? We don't really think about it. But suddenly when we see the same thing happening for Evolving Skies, a set I would argue might be 2 times better. And that's saying something because Team Up is stacked. Even though I really do think there's manipulation on the top 2 cards, top 3 cards of Team Up, I still would argue Evolving Skies might be 2 times better than a great set like that. For it to just match the appreciation arc that Team Up has done, I really don't see anything crazy about that, okay? And I would say there's a very good argument to be had that Evolving Skies is an amazing buy right now at $400 if we do not see another reprint. I've been hearing for the last 6-8 months on YouTube, in Discord, booster box reprint is on the way. I've been hearing that. They've been saying it for months and months and months. As more time goes on, it really starts to seem unlikely that Pokemon would go back and change up all their equipment, etc., to print these yellow border cards. We see ETBs after ETBs, so we know the packs are getting used up. A bunch of those factors just, I'm not sure that there's going to be a reprint. And folks, to get an asset that's basically proven itself, okay? We're coming up on 2 years, and this booster box has essentially proved to us that it's on the same appreciation arc as Team Up. And we know that Team Up is selling for $1,500 to $1,700 a booster box steadily today. For it to be on that same appreciation arc, I think $400 might be a fair value. It might just be perfectly valued. Even though it's up 400% from release, we can see around every day we have brand new booster box selling for $400. The set is so amazing, people still open it at $400. And because we have a Moonbryon going for $450, and the Rayquaza going for $200, you know, raw near mint, People will spend that type of money to open the setup. They really love this set. The alternate arts are just very, very beloved by the community. That's why we see this massive increase in just under 2 years. Guys, now I already explained a little earlier. Team Up booster boxes have been doing phenomenal. They're going for around 1500 to 1800 right now. 1500 is like a very quick sale, but if you hold out, you can probably get closer to 1800. If we look at the top 5 cards, just some phenomenal cards. Even without the manipulation that these top 3 cards have gone through, I would definitely say that Latias and Latios is a several $100 card. When the prices come back to earth, I definitely think the market value will be several $100s. Not over 1,000 like it is now, but still very expensive for some very beautiful cards. Like I said before, folks, Evolving Skies is on the same appreciation path as this. So if you were to analyze the $1,700 from $100 only 4 years ago, it comes out to around 100% a year, which is basically exactly what Evolving Skies is doing. I definitely like that history right there. Not to mention the facts that booster boxes are the safest product to purchase sealed wise. Probably the best product to purchase, period. I really like the Evolving Skies play at $400, okay? Because if you could rewind time and pick up Team Up 2 years ago, the time frame Evolving Skies is at, relatively, you would pick up Team Up all day. Of course, Flashfire, you would pick it up all day at $400, okay? If you had the option to rewind time, just because it's so easy to make that decision in 2020 hindsight. But in this scenario, we don't necessarily have to look in 2020 hindsight, okay? Because we have Evolving Skies right here performing almost year to year what Team Up has been doing. So I definitely like that fact. And it's just a fact, okay? If you break down the numbers, people might say, oh, Team Up was short printed, all that stuff. But the fact is, it's an amazing set. It's the top set in the Sun and Moon era. And those top sets like Flashfire, like Team Up, and like Evolving Skies, they just get bought up every day. And their supply, regardless of how many booster boxes is out there, the top set is always going to be bought up. We can see purchases at $400 for Evolving Skies. We can see multiple purchases on Team Up booster boxes just a few days ago at $1,500 to $1,800, okay? And the same thing with Flashfire. Whenever it's on the market for a reasonable price, like $3,000, which is a lot, but that's reasonable for it, it gets snatched up pretty quickly. And these are way different than the cards and Team Up. You really don't see manipulation on a booster box. Okay, if we saw these booster boxes being manipulated, we would see sales all day at 3K. I'm definitely not saying go buy 10 Evolving Skies booster boxes, but I do think it would be smart to at least have one in the collection, even if it costs you $350, $375. I do see local people selling it for low 300s just because they can avoid fees. You could have bought any of the other top Pokemon sets in any of the eras before Sword and Shield. Returns on all of those top sets would have been massive, even at a $400 entry point. Definitely some potential here. I like the idea of getting one and averaging in, especially if we find out that Pokemon reprints are not going to come for sure. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good weekend and take care.